And good morning and welcome to Touch Base Daily. My name is Ron Foster and I'm touching base with you as I do every day. And today is Tip Tuesday. And you know what that means. We're going to be talking about photography tips for your smartphone. And that topic today, that was in the wrong place. Let's get to the beginning. That was in the wrong spot. Okay, just going through the lesson plan here. Okay, it is mastering color in smartphone photography. And so that's what we'll be doing today. So check it out as we close out our time together. We'll do that in the last half hour. And it's extensive, but it's going to be really good because we'll talk about a lot of stuff that you can use also for your clothing and all the other stuff. So we'll be talking about the color wheel. So we'll be talking about a bunch of stuff. So check that out. Also today we got one big headline. We'll talk about that one. And again, just chatting with you all. I am still recovering from my wonderful weekend. And yesterday I pretty much did nothing but sleep. I mean, I just sat on the couch and looked at movies, looked at TVs, looked at this, looked at that, fell asleep, I was up and I was up and sleep. And so it was a good day. And then today my eyes are watering. So I don't know, it's because maybe it's allergy season is starting. And so anyway, how are you all doing? I got tissues in my pocket. I got everything going on in this shirt here. So, I forgot to do. I have to put the poll in there. Is it gonna show up on? Wait, okay, it doesn't show up on here. How do I get my poll going? I don't know how to get my poll going again. Yeah, beautiful in New York today. It is beautiful, 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 beautiful. And I see Hannah is the first person in the building. So welcome. Hannah says, good morning, Ron and Touch Base Daily family. Anthony's next in line. He says, good morning, everyone. And Dr. Tachi says, hey, y'all. She's early here. And then you got the Lady G. Good morning, she says. And we got the wonderful D. Tuggle is in the building. Greeting everyone and myself. And so, guys, it's so good to be here. It's a new day. It's a new day in America. I was like, I don't even know what to talk about today. Have you guys, first of all, I'll talk about the one that I don't have. I mean, have you guys been watching the headlines? You know who's been really covering this really well, I should say. Not good, but well. Rachel Maddow, she did a whole thing yesterday. As I get that up on the screen, I'm having a ball with this. My STREAMYARD has given me more capabilities. I can do like several presentations across the screen, and I'm like, oh. So as I just discovered that as I was coming on today, I was like, wait, where did this come from? Where was this ability? I now have a new ability. It's like having a superpower. Is like Dr. Taji says, these people are a piece of work. Yes, I mean, we're going to talk about, well, let's talk about this that happened. Let's just talk about this. Okay, here we go. Let's see if you guys can hear, first of all. And, okay, we pop here. Sorry. Turn this on. There we go. Oh, wait, what happened there? Okay, here we go. There we go. And
top national security advisors have been with classified information, allowing a journalist a front row seat to real-time military planning. Atlantic writer Jeffrey Goldberg details how Trump's own national security advisor, Michael Waltz, added Goldberg to a group chat on the messaging app Signal. The chat included Vice President J.D. Vance, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, and Secretary of State Marco Rubio as they planned an attack on Houthi rebels. Goldberg writes this, quote, "The world found out shortly before 2 p.m. Eastern time on March 15th that the United States was bombing Houthi targets across Yemen. I, however, knew 2 hours before the first bombs exploded that the attack might be coming. The reason I knew is that Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of Defense, had texted me the war plan at 11:44 a.m. The plan included precise information about weapons packages, targets, and timing. Goldberg's reporting contains back and forth between these cabinet-level officials as they lay out possible plans of attack, including that J.D. Vance considered Trump ill-informed on potential political fallout. Also notable, what Goldberg himself held back to avoid jeopardizing national security. Goldberg writing, quote, at 11:44 a.m., the account labeled Pete Hegseth posted in Signal a team update. I will not quote from this update or from certain other subsequent texts. The information contained in them, if they had been read by an adversary of the United States, could conceivably have been used to harm American military and intelligence personnel, particularly in the broader Middle East Central Command's area of responsibility. What I will say in order to illustrate the shocking recklessness of this Signal conversation is that the Hegseth post contained operational details of forthcoming strikes on Yemen, including information about targets, weapons the U.S. would be deploying, and attack sequencing. Chillingly, Goldberg's presence in the group chat went completely undetected by its members. They were only made aware when Goldberg reached out before the story went to print. A spokesman for the National Security Council confirming the authenticity of the messages, quote, this appears to be an authentic message chain, and we are reviewing how an inadvertent number was added to the chain. Brian Hughes, the spokesman for the National Security Council, said, joining us now, retired four-star general and MSNBC.
Okay, so you get it. I just wanted to just give you that, what was happening. And do you guys hear this story? I mean, this is crazy. And again, this is what happens when you hire people or you put people in positions that don't deserve to be in the position. You have this idiot that is in charge of the Pentagon, and all of them are crazy. All of them. They're using a regular app, Signal, which is forbidden in government. And they're talking war plans. And there's someone in the room that they don't even know the number or who that person is. But yet they're still talking. And then on top of that, even though we have all of this information, the denial. Oh, we weren't doing anything. We weren't talking, strategies. Meanwhile, Jeff Goldberg got the information. He knew what was happening, and he didn't realize it was true until he actually saw the warplanes going out exactly as instructed. It's the insanity. I'm telling you, we are in dangerous. And I say it again, dangerous time in American history. We are so vulnerable. So vulnerable. It is scary. I don't know about you, but they were interviewing a couple of people yesterday on different channels, and there are people that are totally in fear, especially those that are in government that know how government works when it comes to protecting our secrets and spy games, the whole like TV, like you see on Mission Impossible, or you see in what's the other movies out there that you've seen in the past, like on movie, or Clear and Present Danger, and even in Scandal, when the things were going on behind the scenes in Scandal. A lot of that stuff is, those people get consultants. They get they hire consultants to give them the information to put those things on in the movies. And he says we are in deep doo-doo. Yes. Jazzy says, I don't think people realize how dangerous this is. They should have been in a skiff where you literally can't bring any electronics. No electronics. What's her name? The senator. She said this morning they're not even allowed to bring in their Apple Watches. They can't have anything. You can't go into the skiff because the skiff is where you talk about important information, especially war or strategies that are about to happen, the things that you need to have as in the ultimate top secrets. And these guys are on signal. And like someone said in one of the talk shows this morning, or maybe it was last night, I've been listening to this subject all for like 24 hours, is that on top of that, is that this is what has been exposed. Jeff Goldberg just happens to be on this particular chain of information. But like someone said, that means they've been doing this all the time. Who knows how many conversations they've had over this app. And they're saying that not only were they talking about it on this app, but some of the conversations were being had in different locations, like in a coffee shop, where people could hear what's going on. Man, we are in deep doodle, as Anthony said. We are in trouble as a country, and I keep saying, I know, something major is going to happen because of the stupidity of the people in charge. You can't have this high level of incompetency without something going majorly wrong. I can't imagine what the spy world is doing. And I'm not even, I just like to read books on it. I just like to look at movies on it. I'm just a regular citizen. It's crazy. That's why you need to stock up on food. It's not so, I know people talk about the tariffs and all that stuff, but you don't know what's coming down the pipeline. That's why when you go grocery shopping, go and buy an extra bag of rice. Get a bag of extra of beans. Get extra water. Don't go crazy. Just get extras. We are in a dangerous time in American history. Our country is literally being ran by stupid, incompetent fools. Dr. Tachi says, you see what happens when you have muffins in charge. Since when is signal acceptable messaging for sensitive information? Derek says, the Three Stooges. Hannah says, on target, hitting the targets. Dr. Tachi says, yes, Anthony. G says, someone mentioned they use Signal so the text wouldn't be saved. Yeah, well, people said also that they were probably using Signal during the campaign season, because they're chatting and they don't want it to be saved, and they're talking all kind of garbage and trash and everything else. But you can't use Signal for government. As some of the journalists were saying yesterday, if any regular person in the government was using this Signal, they would have been immediately fired. But not only fired, they would have been brought up on charges and put into jail. They had this one journalist, he was put in jail for 24 months because he was allegedly mishandling secrets. This is crazy. There have been people that have gone to jail for less. Remember the black young lady that went to jail for less because she happened to go home with a file. a file. It probably wasn't about war. Derek says, on the regular internet, how stupid are you? Exactly. Cass says, blessed Tuesday all. There you go. Jazzy says, on Signal, the person sending out the signal saying, are you sure you want to invite XYZ to the chat? So they are beyond dumb. That's what Don Lemon said this morning, because he was teaching us how Signal works. I don't have Signal, so I don't use it. But you have to give permission for the people to be on. So I'm learning to be in this chat. So no one said, oh, wait, we don't know this number, or who is this person, or why is this number here? We don't know this number. Incompetent. And they're worried about people of color and DEI when all of these were white men. No pun intended to white men that are doing the right thing in the world. I mean, they're going after people of color. Now, could you imagine if these were people of color? If these were people in the Biden administration? It's ridiculous. And then all of the people, all those Republicans that went crazy about Hillary's emails, crickets. G says, oh, I'm sorry, I got it. G says, Jazzy, right? You have to send an invite and accept the invite. And then obviously we have Anthony says, we are in deep doo-doo. Dr. Taji says, these are the true DEI hires. Dumb, entitled idiots. I need to make sure I have that on my paper somewhere. Thank you, Dr. Taji. Dumb, entitled idiots. Because every single one of these people are entitled, and they are truly dumb, and they are truly idiots. I mean, how stupid can you be? Russia's listening. China's listening. The Middle East is listening. Iran is listening in the Middle East. All these people, and spies and people that we don't even know. Even, you do know our friends spy, we spy on our friends and our friends spy on us. You do know that, right? There's French spies, there's British spies, there's spies in every country, especially major countries. There's spies. And who knows who gets the information, what's going on. Again, these are the people that, obviously, their master, the master of the cult, if he didn't care about state secrets by putting all those state secrets in his bathroom, the apples don't fall far from the tree. The apples don't fall far from the tree. It's just ridiculous. Hey, Janet's in the building. She says, greetings all. And Jazzy says, nope, no Apple Watches, AirPods, nothing, no electronics, nothing. You only go in there with paper. So I've been told. Paper, that's it. Whatever that folder is, the paper that you need for that conversation. That's the whole point. We are in deep trouble, guys. We are in deep trouble. Yes. And Janet says, you couldn't write or make this stuff up. Rocking chair Carvel might have it right. Sit back and let them destroy themselves. That's what Carvel said. He says, we ain't got to do nothing, Democrats. Just sit back and let them destroy themselves. Right, Janet? Janet said, that's right. Thank you for that reminder, Janet. Carvel said, well, Democrats, just sit back. Get your popcorn and just let them implode. Because guess what? if something happens in this country like a 9/11 under Trump's watch, I will guarantee you, and this just happened, and who knows what else is coming down the pipeline, Democrats will be worshipped. They will sink every Republican and flush them down the drain. They will go down like poo-poo in the toilet. They will be flushed if something happens in this country. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. So, Carville, I agree with you, Janet. Carville may be right. At first, I thought he was a little crazy on that. I said, you got to do something. He said, nope, just sit back. Dr. Tachi says, why not just put the information on Facebook? Live if you're going to do that, fools. It's did you see the day? I think it was 2 days ago. I mean, it was 3 days ago. When they were talking and they were sharing out all the different types of military planes we had and what they could do, and they were bragging about it. Who does that? Do you see other countries do that? Oh, Tenacious Tuesday, T. Tuggo. Yes, it is tenacious. We are tenacious. Expect the unexpected. True. I see the hi, Hannah. And just prepare and be vigilant. Yes, we must prepare for the worst. We have to prepare for the worst. I am going grocery shopping today. I try to go every week, about twice a week, because I try to do my walk. I got to do my walk today. And I will be buying an extra bag of beans, an extra bag of rice, especially while the prices are low, before they get high. Do what you need to do, guys, because especially those that live in homes, you can store food, you can store stuff. I mean, we folks that live in apartments, we don't have a lot of room. But you guys that live in homes, you might want to get some bunker tips, right? Not to scare you, but be prepared, right? As Gwendolyn likes to say, we do not operate in fear. I'm pulling you in on that one. I'm pulling you in on that. We do not operate in fear. That's right. Just right. Let me see here. Warren's in the building. What's going on, Warren? 2 days in a row, Warren? Warren's in the building again. He says, how did the president know so much about the status of the magazine and nothing about the status of the situation? As always, you know Trump's MO. You know Trump's MO. Anytime there's some heat in the kitchen, I don't know anything about it. I don't know that person. I never knew that person. I never been with that person. I never hung out with that person. This is the first time I'm hearing this information. That's his MO. Because again, that man has never been held himself to be accountable to anything or anyone or even to himself. Oh man, I tell you, we are in trouble. We are in trouble. Anthony Rowland says, my father worked in intelligence with the Army. They are locked in a large room with computers, and they cannot bring in any electronics, and they cannot take anything out. Not one piece of paper. That's right. See, this is why I love this community. You guys have connections. You know where you've been. You have friends that have been there. You guys can share perspective. Cause we just common folks with common sense. Jazzy says a lot of people don't realize how vulnerable we right now are. Classified spaces and documents hold a lot of information. We take for granted how safe we are. We certainly do. And now that we've lifted surveillance, on people that are spying on us. Like, we don't care if Russia is doing what they're doing. We're just going to say, you know what? We're just going to let them do what they want to do. Right? That's where we are in this American history. It's crazy. Oh, G uses Signal. Oh, I never use Signal. You gotta teach me how to use Signal. I don't know if I need. Do I need to use Signal? I don't know how to use Signal. I've never used it. I heard about Signal. I just said, wow, I got enough. I got a lot of apps. And Jazzy says, Janet says to Jazzy, 100%. Jazzy says, exactly, Anthony. Yes, I see all the love, all the love going through the bill. Everyone's sharing some love. Signal, ha ha ha. Dr. Tachi says, but are we surprised? These are the same people that use X as their official communic for policy. Yes. Yes. It's ridiculous. Hey, Kim, I see you. They can't say it was fake news. Wake up, people. Yeah, they even tried to do that this morning. I mean, yesterday afternoon. Oh, this is not real. This is not truth. This is not a true story. When it's all over the place. It's in the Atlantic. The man, Jeff Goldberg shares exactly everything that happened inside the article, the op-ed in op-ed in the Atlantic. Crazy. Cass says, one of my parents expressively would say without cussing, doodoo birds. Dodo birds. Oh my goodness gracious. I just wanted to make sure y'all knew about this. I mean, how this is getting crazy. It's getting crazy in America. It's getting crazy in America. Dr. Taji says, info is probably on FB, Facebook, and X. That's right. Dr. Taji says, these people are completely bereft of common sense. If we didn't understand the level of their stupidity before, we do now. I agree. Holy moly. I hate saying his name because he's so stupid. Hexeth. Ugh. And then had the nerve to pull the Trump move. Oh, this is Russia. Did you hear him? Did you hear him when they confronted him? It's Russia. Fake news. I mean, you get rid of 4-star generals and replace the 4-star general with a television fake personality and think that's gonna fare well for the country. Oh man, we're in trouble. We are so in trouble. Whew. Cassie says, yes, not too many things I fear. Faith over fear. Danette says, I operate in concern. Derek says, so busy creating a junk car lot on the White House lawn. Exactly. Shaking my head. Who owns Signal? I don't know. Who owns Signal? Gwendolyn, who owns Signal? I know you would know that information. Mimi's in the building. Mimi Hinton. Good morning, Ron and RLP crew. Not surprised, she says, Mimi. And G says, I use Signal with my counterparts who want more privacy. Ooh. Okay. Dr. Tali says, Janet, it says, is owned by the Signal Foundation, a non-profit organization. Who knows who they are? Hey, Chris is in the building. He says they can't do anything else besides that. No morals. Hannah says, good morning, Mimi. Look at that. All the love. I like when you guys are greeting each other. Jazzy said, it's a mess. And Dr. Ty says, many people use Signal as an alternative to WhatsApp. See, I use WhatsApp, but maybe now that WhatsApp is part of Facebook or Meta, right? So maybe things aren't as confidential in WhatsApp as we used to think, because Meta, has been playing some, fishy stuff. Wow, I did not. Yeah. So, okay. Maybe I need to get rid of WhatsApp. Well, I have WhatsApp because all my friends from overseas are on WhatsApp. Is Signal also are people on Signal across the globe? I'm curious. I need information. Chris Edwards says they are the fake news all the time. I say all the time. I'm with you, Chris. Charlene's in the building. She says, good morning. Good morning. Also, guys, make sure you hit the likes. Make sure you hit the likes. Make sure you hit the likes. And I'm loving you guys' participation this morning. Mimi says, good morning, Hannah. She says, I like Donette Williams. Stay ready so don't have to get ready. I know. Now I know that's Gwendolyn. That is yes. Chris says, good morning, all. Good morning. Good morning, brother. Kim says, good morning, Hannah. Good morning. I see all the good morning. Everybody's saying, hey, Chris. Everyone saying hello to Chris. Also, it's a not profit. Okay, I see in here. And now we're caught up. We're getting caught up. We're caught up now. Good morning, Hannah, says Charlene. And Anthony says, there's a new country song dedicated to Elon. It comes off like a gospel song as if he's the second coming. It's quite disturbing. Really? I gotta figure. There's so much going on in the world. There's so much going on. Chris R is in the building. She says, good morning. West Coast is in the building. You West Coasters. Everybody's in the building. The whole country's represented here. East Coast, West Coast, Central. Everybody's here. Do you got any Mountain Time people in here? Any Mountain Time people? I know we got West Coast, East Coast, Central. I don't know. Do we have any Mountain Time people in here? Any Colorados? Coloradians? I mean, hello. Aya says, good morning, Ron, and Touch Base Daily. Yes, right. Make sure you guys hit the likes. Make sure you hit the likes. And Derek says, so worried about Kamala blowing up the country. And look at this mess. This takes me to my next. They were worried. These folks, whether it was because of racism, whether because of their biases or their bigotry, whatever it was, they didn't think Kamala could run the country. Meanwhile, she was the most qualified person for the job. She was the most qualified person for the job, right? She was a vice president, a senator, AG, right? She had more credentials, she did campaigns. She worked and helped Obama get elected. This woman had more credentials than anyone, even I will say Hillary. And they felt like she could not be president. If they would have voted for Kamala Harris, we would not be in this mess. We are in this mess because of the stupid people in this country that either did not vote or voted against. Well, nope, sorry. I said I'm going to start saying that because they did vote for their interests. I was going to say they voted against their interests, but no, their interest was whatever it was. They voted for their interests, whether it be white supremacy, if that was the case, or bigotry or whatever it was. They voted for their interests. And the people that sat on the sofa, they voted too. They voted by staying home. That was their vote. And we are in this mess. We are in this mess because of the idiots in this country. I said it. Yes, there may be some name calling here today. The dumb idiots. Worried about everything else except the country that they live in, the rule of law. What else did you think was going to happen when you put a criminal at the head of the ship? What did you think? What's going to, now you got all over the country, and it takes me to my next topic. People are all over the country in uproar. There's town meetings going on all over the country. People are in the streets. Bernie had 34,000 people one day, 20,000 people out the next day in the anti-oligarch rallies. Then they had people by the thousands, right? Thousands are coming out over. Rachel Maddow had a whole segment yesterday. She said there's so many rallies around the country and people marching in the streets, veterans, women. And I have to tell you, I looked at a lot of that footage, and I ain't see too many black people out there marching. Because we did our work. We warned you. We warned America. Look at Project 2025. Look at how many days did you hear Elise on this platform keep on reminding us? Come on. Dumb, stupid Americans that sat home and did nothing, or they did something in the wrong direction. Now all those farmers are not getting money. All those farmers are losing dollars by the day. And this could have been all averted. This could have been, we wouldn't be in this place if they would have voted for Kamala. First of all, the numbers were on her side. And a lot of people go off of it and say, oh, Kamala didn't do this, or Kamala didn't do that. But Kamala ran the most amazing campaign in the shortest period of time than anyone in American history. Y'all can talk about how some people say, oh, but the money was spent here and the money was spent there, and they didn't know how to manage this and they didn't know how to manage that. Can we just look at the real picture here? All you morons out there, the trolls. Really? You had Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, the Biden-Harris ticket, had the economy moving forward. We had the best economy in the world. What they call after COVID, after the pandemic. They got inflation had gone up, inflation was going down. They had all the numbers, all the stats, and people still ignored it because of their stupid racism or their bias, or people that say, I can't vote for a woman because a woman can't be president. I'm a Christian. I can't have a woman rule over me. And I'm just using, I'm not saying Christians all over the world did that. All Christians in America feel that way. But there is a segment in the Christian population that don't even let women speak in church. Those morons are the ones that voted for Trump. We can't have a woman leading us. It's against God's word. No, it isn't. If you read your Bible and you read your Bible from cover to cover, you will see there was a lot of great women in the Bible leading for all the religious and the Christians and the Jewish people out there. I can't have a woman rule over me. The stupidity of it all. Really. Now we're in this pickle. Not even a pickle. We are in hell. We are in a living hell. Every single morning we wake up, there's crazy. We thought America was done with that when he was in office, when the moron was in office before. God dog it. Ugh. Okay. Let me get myself back together. I gotta get my composure. I lost myself there. Oh man, it just makes me angry every freaking morning. Every morning is crazy. Every single day, if it's not planes falling from the sky. It's just every day, the stupidity. And all this, we could have avoided all of this if the people of this country would have listened. Now you are in purgatory or you're in hell, because guess what? Nothing really can't be done until elections. So we got 2 years. Maybe we'll get saved by those people that may vote in April. Those 2 seats that could maybe tie up the Congress, the House of Representatives. Maybe if those people come out and vote, right? Or for the Senate race that's happening in Georgia. Come on. I mean, there should be people all over the country flooding funds, Democrats, independents, anyone that's against Trump and this craziness. They should be flooding the dollars, using their resources to support these elections that are happening in a couple of weeks. The only way you're going to stop these people is through the vote. And we may not even have that, because they're working on ways to mess that up, that your vote won't count. Our votes won't count. It's up to all of us to use our platforms to keep alerting people. There's an election coming up. I do believe it's Florida. And I think Florida, and it's also another major election that's happening in Ohio for the Supreme Court justice. We got to be informed. Stay informed. Do not stick your head in the ground like an orchard. Okay. Let me see what you guys are saying. I just had to get that off my chest. Okay, we got that one. Yeah, like Derek said, so worried about Kamala blowing up the country, and look at this mess. Not a country song. Cass says, do not get distracted with the mess. Stay on the mission and vision. Exactly. We got to win. It's beyond gross. The cult Kool-Aid is 100% proof. 100% proof. Mimi says, DT is on the West Coast. Ugh. G says, don't tiptoe around it, Ron. We know it was about her race and gender. Black women are okay to work in the background, but never fit to lead. Anthony says, we can run it better. We have a better cabinet in the chat than these fools in DC. You know that's right. I believe that if all of us got together, we could run this country. Cass says, still be aware and acknowledgeable, but most of it can't be a distraction as to what is really going on. Beware of all the distractions. Mimi says, they were afraid of a black woman. Jelly says, yep. Mimi says, right, Gwendolyn, say that. Charlene says, absolutely. Cass says, they did say it. People just did not believe it or in denial. Damn it, right? That's exactly why sisters have their popcorn and wine. Kimi said, I don't know what it will take for his base to just actually understand what they see with their own eyes, because they're fools. They're beguiled. They're stupid. They're fools. They're all of the above. Mega brain is a dumb brain. She's good. She says, God bless Bernie, but he's another old white man. Sorry, not sorry. He could have done all that for Kamala. Well, now Bernie did do a lot during Kamala's election. He was out there. However, for those that have not looked at the history line of Bernie, a lot of not a lot, but a portion of the mega people are ex-Bernie people. When Bernie lost against Hillary, those people felt slighted. They felt bamboozled. They did not know where to go or put their energy. And a lot of these people that were Bernie, remember Bernie? Remember when Bernie was running and everybody loved Bernie? But the establishment did not want Bernie. The establishment did not want Bernie because Bernie was too progressive. And the establishment did not want the Democratic establishment did not want to go full progressive. But a lot of those people that were at those Bernie rallies, remember those Bernie events? There were thousands of them there, but not as much as they are here today. He's getting the biggest audience ever now. But those people that were in the Bernie camp were upset with the Democrats because they did not vote Bernie in, and they voted for Clinton. And they became angry, and they joined what was then the Tea Party. Right? Yeah, the Tea Party then. And then the Tea Party morphed into the Mega Party. So look at the timeline. And so you're saying, so some of those folks that you are seeing in the red states right now, and I'll put the link into Rachel's, she does a masterful job yesterday of all of these campaigns all over. She's snipping through all of them. A lot of these were ex-Bernie supporters, and they're coming back home to Bernie. Look at the political history. Look at it. Laney Lane says, they so sad right now. G says, for sure, Anthony Rowland and Mimi, I'm watching, but I'm not worried. Kimmy says, right, I noticed that too. Popcorn, and I see that wine. I have mine. I have my FAFOs all the time. I'm always FA and FOing. And Gwyneth says, and let's not forget, this is also because they voted to hurt Black bodies, all while eating our food, enjoying the culture, and dancing. Ooh. Dr. Taji says, there were those groups as well, like some people of color that voted to be white adjacent. Anthony Rowland says, those rednecks would be complaining about something else, but we wouldn't be here. That's right. Cass says, I do give credit to Letitia James, who I saw today. She stayed on it for education and getting attorneys together to advocate for overturn what they are trying to do. Mimi says, Ron, they rigged that too. Kamala won, but Elon and Putin got orange in a bunch. What's done in the dark will come to light. I do believe. I'm not conspiracy led, but I am almost. I believe that something was done to that election. I do believe it. I mean, and not because of my own thinking, but because of the words that came out of Trump's mouth. Oh, we don't have nothing to worry about because because Elon's a genius. He knows how to work those machines. Paraphrasing. Oh, Cass says, meaning I saw an update article today. Dr. Tashi says, we're not going to march either. We did our part for hundreds of years. We are done. They are also waiting for an excuse to impose martial law. So not today, Satan. Janet says, women offered and used their houses for the first Christian churches. Yes, right? There you go. Shirley says, I know food and music brings folks together, but it bothers me to see folks act as if Black folks have contributed nothing to the life they live. Derek says, can't have a woman but like a convicted felon. Sweet baby Jesus. I know, make that make sense. Shirley says, and we are only 90 days in. Oh, Lord have mercy. Ron, we are all shaking our heads. Anthony says, let me tell it, we're only good for entertainment. Oh, and hurricane season is coming. Stay tuned. That's right, because now we have less NOAA. We have less FEMA. Say it right, Mimi. You know. Those southern states are going to start feeling the burn. The BURN. Jack, all of it bothers me to my core. And Shirley says that. Now, I'm a political junkie. I love politics, the good, the bad, the ugly, the crazy. I'm in it. It's just, I've been that way since I was a kid. So this does not stress me out, really. It really doesn't. Some people, it would stress them out but this has been a part of my life since I was 16 years old. When they used to call me Alex Keaton, when I used to go to school with my briefcase and sit around and talk about politics when I was in high school. So this is my DNA. I just feed on this stuff. But also, I want to say, in the moment we're in, you do have to take breathers. You have to get away from the television, as they say, turn the TV off. You have to also turn off the YouTube. You have to turn off a lot of stuff and just go for a walk in the park. That's why I try to do my walks at least 3 or 4 times a week. Take some time for you, because if you don't, all of this will drive you insane. So take time to breathe. Take time to exhale. Take time to just read a book on nature, or take time to do something that's fun, that gets your brain out of it. I was telling one of my friends, I was telling Fifi, I said, have you been watching this Tyler Perry series on Netflix? Something beauty, Black Beauty, Black and Beauty, or something like that. And I said, the acting is not as on par. But it's one of those, it's that type of television show that totally gets your brain cleared of what's going on in the world, because you get to laugh or you scream at the TV and say, don't do it. But that's why we have movies. That's why we have television, as in like Netflix and all the other stuff out there, that you can take some time away. And then also, those are people of faith in the building. This is the season also to just pray. Now, faith without actions is what? Is dead, right? So Don't just pray and do nothing. Pray and do something, right? Take time, pray, get your head together, calm the nerves, calm the mind, take deep breaths. I've been learning since pretty much last year, learning how to do breathing exercises because it does something for the body. It calms the nerves, calms your blood and the white blood cells and red blood cells and all the other stuff by breathing in oxygen and exhaling. Guys, don't let all this crazy stress you out. Be informed, but don't let it stress you out. Can we all be committed to that as a community? Be informed, but don't let it stress you out. I know there's a lot of people of faith in our community. We do answer to a higher power. We do. And yes, I'm the first to knock out, talk about Christians that are behaving badly, or people that like to wear the label. They say America is a Christian nation. Hogwash. Not only by name only, right? But let it take some time to just take some time. I remember when I used to work on Wall Street, I used to walk over to the church every other lunch day and just have my lunch in the graveyard and then go into the church and just sit because it was so quiet. Sometimes I'm not even praying. I'm just sitting. Just sitting. There used to be an old Christian hymn saying, "Be still, my soul, the Lord is on thy side. He manages to provide in every something faithful he'll remain. Be still, my soul, the Lord is on your side." You gotta kind of like let it chill. You gotta chill because you will lose it. Okay, let me go back to this. Hey, Elise is in the building. She says, "Anthony, good morning, everyone. The Supreme Court election is in Wisconsin." Thank you for that correction. Not Ohio, it's Wisconsin. It's Wisconsin. So let's make sure we do that. Also, Jay-Z said, and I'm going to say it, this is why I can't get behind the bandwagon of Bernie, because he is repeating exactly what she was saying. Good morning, Elise, says the folks. Dr. Atati says, yeah, Florida has 2 districts. 2 districts. Let's vote. Different faces, same message, and the crowd is going wild. Not going to do it. Not going to do it, says G. Kitty said, what all out of people are not saying when it comes to Bernie, he was an independent running on a Democratic ticket. Yeah, Bernie's not a Democrat. He's an independent. Jazzy, people have to understand that there was no reason for the Democrats to back Bernie. Hannah says, good morning. He says, I know all that about Bernie. My mother was a Bernie supporter and didn't vote the year that guy won the first time, says G. Elise says, good morning, Mimi. Good morning. Good morning. I see all the good mornings. Okay. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Dr. Tachi says, Kim, there are 2 drafts. Warby Parker could give them a lifetime subscription for glasses and they would still never see. I was wondering where you were going with that, Dr. Tachi. Yep. Okay. And we got Bryce in the building. He said, what's up, Ron? What's up, everybody? Sorry that I'm late. Warren says, please don't forget those 20% of Black men who stuck their hands in a bowl of doo-doo and voted against Kamala. That's who those folks are. That's right. FEMA, where you at? Yep, it's going to be a rough summer. Hurricane season begins at the end of this month. Dr. Taji says, well, that just shows the lack of intelligence of Sanders' followers as well. They just wanted to be in something. They don't care what it is. Ooh. Derek FEMA on hiatus. G says, it's awful. It's extreme weather season with tornadoes and hail. There are wildfires right now. And where's FEMA? Well, not only that, where's the president? Usually when there's big forest fires or big things happening where people are dying and tornadoes, the president says something. Not this one. Think about that. Let that sit in. Derek says, I feel like sit in your own ways. At least sit in your own ways. Figure out how to clean up your own sugar honey iced tea. Beauty in Black. That's the name of the show, Bryson. Thank you, Bryson. I know you know all things entertainment. All things. Bryson came in here. Cass says 100% inhale, exhale does help. Laughter is good too. Let me tell you. Daisy's in the building. Hello, Ron, she says. Miss G says, oh my gosh, The Residence is a must watch. Yeah, you got to have TV. You got to have shows to get you out of the world. Hello to everyone, says Daisy. Bryson says, Tyler Perry, Beauty in Black. And Charlene says, faith without works is dead. It's one of my mottos. It's one of my living mottos. It's one of the things I stand on in life. Faith without works is dead. What's up, Daisy? We walk by faith, says Mimi. I'm on hiatus from the news, says Anthony. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. I see all the good mornings. G says, I start my morning watching The Wiz and Burlesque every morning. Yes, this is something that G does this every morning. I said, how do you look at The Wiz every morning? But she does. We must do it. We must do what works. Elise says, good morning. Jazzy says, I'm too blessed to be stressed. I remember those words. That was a good saying when I was brought up in church. Yep. Derek says, here it says, I've adopted what Kendrick Lamar said. Turn the TV off. Turn the TV off. She says, one of my favorite verses is pray without ceasing. Janet says, silence is prayer. That's right. Cass says, the work can be in the walk. Your assignment is your anointing. See, look at all my Bible scholars and faith-based folks in the building. Daisy, does the autofill people's handle? If so, mine is not working. Miss Elise, hey Elise, and good morning. Going on through here, YouTube, desktop, it won't do it on mobile, says Doc. Okay, you guys are having that. Janet says, he then criticizes FEMA for mismanagement. Gosh, I'm going into overtime today, guys, because I gotta teach my lesson. G says, the part of Janet. Okay, there we go. And greetings. We're caught up. Elise. Greeting Elise from New York City, says Janet. And Bryson says, The White Lotus is must-see on HBO. Oh, I got to see that. That was such a good series. Okay, we're going to the lesson. We're going into the lesson plan now. It's time to get to, because this is going to help you, all you great photographers in the world, or those that want to be photographers, or those that think they're photographers, or those that are just playing around. So today, thank you that was a great participation today. Love it. Let's get into the lesson, because this is going to help you with your photography, all you wonderful smartphone photographers. Mastering color in smartphone photography. It's going to be quick. We'll be out. We're not going to be long. I just want to get it to you. Okay, here we go. Introduction. Colors have a language all their own in photography. Whether you're capturing vibrant street scenes or serene landscapes, here's how to use color like a pro. Like a pro. Next, the color wheel. I know a lot of you are like, Ron, you're a photographer. Why would you need the color wheel? Now, I use the color wheel because also I'm an interior designer. So in design, we use the color wheel. But here we go. The color wheel, a visual tool that organizes color, typically in a circular format, to illustrate their relationships and facilitate color mixing and selection. You're like, how does this work in photography? It does. It is a very important foundation for your photography, knowing color. That's what a color wheel looks like. And you see these relationships. All the cool colors are the dark colors, like the blues, the dark blue, the purple into the green. Those are the cool colors. And then you see the reds going into, and the yellows and the oranges. Those are called the warm colors. And then you combine them in different ways, and you can create amazing pictures or amazing art. If you're using your paintbrush, if you're using your photo lens, it is so important. The color wheel. Here we go. The color relationships, complementary colors. Colors oppose each other on the color wheel. Example, red and green, blue and orange. Like you see the Nick colors, right? You see advertisements in complementary colors. McDonald's, Kentucky Fried Chicken. Different colors have meaning, but we won't go into that. But you see those colors, how they in contrast complement each other. Here's analogous colors. Colors that are next to each other on the wheel. Example, red and red orange, and orange, or orange and yellow. Those are next to each other, and they create a harmonious color scheme. People use that in color grading. When you see photographers, they like to edit in color grading. That they'll put more browns or more blues, kind of like faded through the frame of the picture. Monochromatic color schemes utilize tints and shades of only one hue. Different shades of blue, different shades of green, different shades of orange. Monochromatic. Next, this is when you go around the circle, the red, orange, yellow, orange, yellow. This is all here. Here you go. Pick a palette. Simply simplify your composition by focusing on a few dominant colors. For example, a bold red jacket against a snowy backdrop can make your subject pop. You always see photographers do that, right? You see photographers in a muted situation, they like to have a red bag or a red jacket or an orange bag or orange jacket because those colors pop, right? Nothing like, someone on the side of a cliff of a mountain view, a landscape picture, and the ocean's in front of the person, the mountains are behind them, but they're wearing a red jacket. A red jacket. Here's some photos. Color makes the difference. You see how all these oranges and browns in this color. Next, use contrast. Complementary colors. Think blue and orange or yellow and purple. Like the fraternity. You have the pink and green. The pink and green. Or you have black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow. Right? Colors. Create striking contrasts that grab attention. Experiment with objects that naturally pair these shades. Like red umbrellas against the blue water. Pink against the blue. A nice hot color on a shirt versus a cool color. Right? Next, find mood in tones. Warm colors like reds and yellows evoke energy and passion, while cool tones like blues and greens create calm and tranquility. Choose hues that tell the story you want. There's a reason why when you go to the park and you see the green against the blue sky, it calms you down. Is another reason why when you go to the ocean and you see that nice sandy color go against the blue, it calms you down because blue is a calming color. Right? There you go. Right? Anybody, any listeners? Anyone learning today? Anyone interested in learning something that's going to help you in your photography? Here's something nice and warm. Look at these warm colors. Look at those cool colors. Look at the mixture, the contrast of the cool and the warm. Golden hour magic. Y'all know we talk about that in this community. But if you're new here, the golden hour is the hour before sunset or the hour after the sun rises. The golden hour. There's a magic. There's a glow. There's a glow. And you can make great pictures during that glow. Like here it is. The warm light of sunrise or sunset adds soft golden tones to your photos, enhancing colors without overwhelming them for maximum effect. Remember to set your phone camera to HDR mode. For most of our cameras, we can do that. Look at that. When the sun is at that first hour, it just make colors pop nicely. But again, it doesn't, like if it was a noonday sun, some of the sun will bleach it out. But no, in the morning, that's why a lot of photo shoots are done early in the morning. Early in the morning or in the evening near sunset. Like around an hour before sunset. Usually the production crew gets there about an hour or two, about 2 hours, 3 hours before the sun sets. They put it all together. And then now you get the magic golden hour. And then you start snapping away and clicking away with your camera. Clicking away. Because there was a joke. There's a joke in some photographer circles. Anyone could look beautiful in the golden hour. You may say, "Ooh, that person don't look too hot. Maybe that person's not that attractive." Well, you know what? You know how to solve that? Take a picture of them during the golden hour. And you might say, "Ooh, that person looks good." So, golden hour, the golden hour, the beautiful oranges, the warmth. Everyone looks good in the golden hour. Everyone looks good. Everyone looks good in the golden hour. The next time you're with your family and you want to take some good photos, say, "Hey, guys, let's go down and catch the sunset and take pictures of your loved ones." Everyone looks good in the golden hour. Experiment with filters. Use editing apps to tweak the vibrance or tone of colors. Subtle tweaks can turn a dull shot into a masterpiece. I was playing with my photos that I photographed on Saturday, and when Fifi came over on Sunday, I was showing her how I, color balance and all that stuff in my frame and the photos and how I'm, dodge and burning and all that other stuff. And when she saw the finished product, she was like, "Oh my gosh, Ron." Because more than just taking a picture, you gotta edit, y'all. You gotta edit. And I always talk about two of my favorites, Snapseed and Lightroom. There are a lot more out there, but those are my favorites. And if you go to some of these apps that you have on your phone, they have what's called filters. Filters before or filters after. And you can select those filters, and they're either going to give you lots of coolness in the coolness of the colors, or they may give you a lot more warmth in the colors, or they may give you black and white. But since we're talking colors, You can shift. Even in Lightroom, you have what's called presets. And in presets, you can move it towards a color and move it towards a blue or move it towards a orange. And then you can do color grading. That's a little technical. We won't go into that today, but you can create mood through color grading. Okay. Like this is a color grade. You see the blues and the oranges working together because why? On the circle, the color wheel, they're opposites. The blue is opposite of the orange. So that makes them beautiful marriages of color. Right? I see some comments here. First of all, I saw Jazzy with the golden hour. Yes. And I see also Cass said, great tips. I also see here, Danette says, sunset, my favorite time of the day. A glass of wine sitting on my deck. Guess I need to start taking some pictures. Yes, Danette. The Anthony says, photographs are created. That's what makes us special. Dr. Tachi says, pink and green is a sorority run. Oh, sorry, my bad. I did say fraternity. My bad. Sorority. The sorority sisters in the building. But that's okay. Okay. Thank you for that correction. These are great considerations, said Dr. Tachi. G says, I was passing notes during the lecture, but I'm listening. Yes. Move on down the road. Move on down the road. Ease on down the road. Gwendolyn. Okay, here we go. Look at that contrast. Yellow and blue. You always see that. I mean, that is one of the most famous contrasts of color. Yellow and blue, right? Yellow and blue, orange and blue. Those are very common. And no matter how much you see it, your eye is pleased when you see it. When you see it, your eyes are pleased. Look at that. The gold going into the pink, magenta, right? That nice spread of color. Conclusion. We conclude with a thought. Make your smartphone your creative playground. Let color work its magic. Now, here's your assignment. Go and paint the world with your lens. Take these babies out and take some photos. I'm not asking you to use this guy. Hold on a second. Let me go over here. I don't need to have this to create great photos. As much as I love this, I love my big camera. I love what it can do. But this, you can do a lot of great work with this, your smartphone. Use it. People were like, Ron, you took great pictures at CQ5 this weekend. All of it. This never touched. Well, no, I did touch this, but I haven't showed those photos yet. Right? But I didn't share any of these photos. I shared only these. This was good enough to get my message across. What is your message? What is the story you want to tell? Right? That's the conclusion of the matter. Get out there. Take your smartphone today. As you get towards sunset, take some pictures. And I guarantee you're going to be like, yo, Ron was right. These photos are amazing the hour before sunset. Now, a lot of y'all are not up early enough for us photos an hour after the sun rises. But most of you will be up an hour before the sun sets. Go out for a stroll after dinner tonight. Have your dinner 2 hours before the sun sets, maybe a meal, and then take your last hour and go for a walk. They always say it's good to go for a walk after you eat. That's what I do, and I go with my little phone, and I take pictures along the way. And I got collections that people haven't even seen yet of sunrises and sunsets and all that stuff. Take your pictures. What are y'all laughing about here? I'm seeing here. I see you. Chris says, always great tips, Ron. Thank you, Chris. Dr. Tachi says, that photo is beautiful. Yes. Take pictures, y'all. Take pictures. Take pictures. It's important. Log your world. Log it. Log it. Donette says, Ron, what were the editors you use? I use Snapseed and I use Lightroom. Those are my favorite because they're on my phone. My Lightroom, I use Lightroom because Lightroom is on my phone, my computer, my tablet. They can talk in the cloud to each other. I can take a picture with my Lightroom camera and it goes into my Lightroom program and it's everywhere, but you got to pay for that one. I love my Lightroom because it's everywhere. I take it here, it's going to be on my computers. It could be on all my computers. And I can edit from anywhere. I can upload them from anywhere. But Snapseed is local. Snapseed. SNAPSEED is in your phone. It's local. And then your phone has an editor in itself. Use the editors in your phone. Okay. Dr. Taji says, that's like saying you're ugly during the day. Talking about everybody looks good. Everyone looks good in the sunset. I see the laughter. I love it. I love it. This is not a dead classroom. This classroom means business. We're here to learn. We're going to learn. You're going to learn today. You're going to learn. She says, I've been known to stop during my morning walk and catch the sun rays shining through the trees. Yes. Take time. You know what's beautiful about photography? And I'm going to close. Photography also causes you to pause. Right? Many of us live busy lives. Many of us are scurrying around. We just got so many things to do. So many things to do. But your phone, your smartphone, you pausing to take a picture, it does exactly that. It causes you to pause, stop, see the roses. And while you're seeing them, smell them. So this week, take your smartphone, look for the colorful in life and photograph it. Take some time in the evening, take your honey for a walk. Say, let's go for a walk. And maybe you don't have a honey, maybe you just have a dog. You have a dog and go for the dog walk. Take pictures of your dog in the sunset. As the sun is going down, take pictures of your dog. Take pictures. That's what this community is all about, right? Photographers and creatives. You'll be surprised what you get out of those photos. I can't wait to hear tomorrow who went out today and who have gone out today and taken pictures. Okay. Mimi says, I love the sunsets. Janet says, great pick archive, Ron. Yes, I got a big archives of just my phone photos. You can do a lot. See, Elise is laughing. What is Elise laughing about? What is she laughing about? Oh, gosh. I love you guys. So, guys, have a great day. Thank you for tuning in. I had a great time. We talked about a lot of stuff today. And we have a great community. Let's keep learning. Let's keep growing. And take lots of photos. See ya. Hello and thank you for joining us today. Make sure you hit the like, the subscribe, and leave a comment on this video. I would love to hear from you. Thank you again. Until I see you next time.